What's up, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we break down all the biggest news, rumors, and drama surrounding the black and gold. No fluff, no filter. As always, the Pittsburgh Steelers are focused on getting better day in and day out. Whether it's building through the draft, finding veteran talent, or preparing for training camp, this team is grinding to bring championships back to the Burgh. Now, before we dive into today's topic, does Aaron Rodgers even want to play for the Steelers? Do me a huge favor. Smash that like button to show your support, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe so you never miss another Steelers update. All right, let's get into it. We're deep into the 2025 offseason, and there's still one name dominating the conversation: Aaron Rodgers. The four-time NFL MVP, future Hall of Famer, and maybe the next Steelers quarterback? But here's the problem. We still don't know. Despite multiple reports that the Steelers made Rodgers a competitive offer, the 41-year-old quarterback hasn't committed to playing football in 2025, let alone suiting up in black and gold. That silence is starting to speak volumes. Former NFL lineman turned analyst Ross Tucker didn't hold back on Good Morning Football earlier this week. He came out swinging with a take that's got Steelers Nation buzzing. These are the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? And they're still waiting for this guy to decide if he wants to play. By the way, if a guy's waiting this long to decide whether or not they want to play, they don't really want to play. Let that sink in. Tucker went on to say that Rodgers might not even care about playing anymore, that he just wants to stay relevant and in the headlines. That's a tough pill to swallow, but is he wrong? Rodgers has made no strong public comments about his interest in Pittsburgh. No posts, no interviews, no signs of excitement about joining this franchise. It's been crickets. So now the question becomes, are the Steelers being strung along? Because of the uncertainty around Rodgers, most fans expected the Steelers to draft a quarterback early in the 2025 NFL Draft. That didn't happen. Instead, Pittsburgh waited until the 6th round to select Will Howard out of Ohio State, a big athletic kid with tools but raw. That brings us to the other big name in the room, Mason Rudolph. Yes, he's back. Yes, he finished the 2023 season strong. And yes, according to ESPN's Brooke Pryor, the Steelers locker room believes in him. Pryor told 97.1, The Fan. Not only does the coaching staff buy into him, but the guys in the locker room really like Mason Rudolph. He earned a lot of credibility with this offense, the way he finished out the 2023 season. Let's not forget, Rudolph came in when everything was falling apart. Kenny Pickett was hurt. Mitch Trubisky flopped. And somehow, Rudolph kept the Steelers alive and helped get them into the playoffs. Even though the postseason run ended early, his performance mattered, and people inside the building didn't forget. Here's the catch. Pittsburgh let Rudolph walk after 2023. He left as a free agent. If he was truly the guy, wouldn't they have locked him up sooner? This is where things get murky. Right now, the Steelers are caught in QB limbo. Rodgers hasn't committed. Rudolph feels like a backup plan. And while Will Howard has upside, he's not expected to start week 1, unless he completely shocks everyone in camp. So what's the plan? Could this front office really be waiting on Rodgers to make or break the entire 2025 season? And how long can they afford to wait? Whether Rodgers signs or not, his hesitation is already creating waves. It's affecting training camp installs, quarterback reps, free agent targets, and team chemistry. Every week that Rodgers delays his decision is another week that this team doesn't know who the leader of the offense will be, and it's not just frustrating the fan base. You've got to believe that players like DK Metcalf, Pat Freiermuth, and even Najee Harris are watching this unfold and wondering who's going to be throwing the ball in September. There are rumors Rodgers will announce his decision by the time OTAs start. But let's be honest, at this point, can you even count on that? Here's the harsh truth, Steelers Nation. Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. If you could lock him in for 17 games, you'd do. it without blinking. But what if it's only 1 year? What if he gets hurt again like he did with the Jets? And what if all this waiting has already cost the Steelers momentum heading into a crucial season? This team has a playoff-caliber roster. The defense is stacked. The offensive line is improved. They've got weapons at wide receiver and tight end. What they need is clarity at quarterback. They need a leader. They need direction. And if Rodgers isn't going to be that guy, it might be time for Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan to say, thanks, but no thanks. So on Monday, the Steelers finalized a deal with veteran wideout Robert Woods. The terms? 1 year, $2 million. No big press conference, no flashy announcement. Just a quiet, calculated move. Woods signed his contract Thursday per ESPN's Adam Schefter, and he now officially joins a Steelers offense that ranked 27th in passing yards per game last season. That's right, just 192 yards per game through the air. Not good enough. So why bring in Woods? He's not the deep threat he once was. He's 33. He's coming off a modest 2-year stint in Houston where he racked up just 629 yards and a single touchdown. But what he does bring is leadership, route running, and stability. He's been part of a winning culture. He's got a Super Bowl ring from his Rams days, and he knows how to move the chains in crunch time. This is a low-cost, low-risk, high-flexibility signing. But make no mistake, it's not just about Woods, it's about what the Steelers didn't do. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Just days before the Woods signing, reports began circulating that the Steelers were actively shopping George Pickens, especially in talks with the Dallas Cowboys. Now that's big news. Why would the Steelers even consider trading their most talented wide receiver? League insiders confirmed the conversations happened. Pittsburgh was listening. But ultimately, no deal got done because no team met the asking price. And here's where it gets interesting. Pickens is heading into the final year of his rookie contract. He's eligible for an extension, but clearly something's holding the front office back. Maybe it's his attitude. Maybe it's consistency. Maybe it's the money he's going to demand. Or maybe it's all of the above. So the Steelers stood pat. They kept Pickens, extended DK Metcalf earlier this offseason, and now they've added Woods to the mix. That's a lot of smoke, folks. And where there's smoke, let's take a step back and look at the receiver room. DK Metcalf, locked in, extended, cleared WR1. George Pickens, still the most physically gifted guy on the roster, but his long-term future, questionable. Robert Woods, a reliable veteran who can mentor young guys and move the chains. Calvin Austin III, Scotty Miller, and others are still fighting for depth roles. This is starting to feel like a retooling phase, not just a depth shuffle. Pickens remains a Steeler for now, but this front office just showed us they're preparing for all scenarios. They're giving themselves options. If Pickens balls out this season, maybe they extend him. If he underperforms or continues to clash with coaches, they've got leverage to trade him. If a mid-season contender comes calling with a first-round pick, boom, they can make a move. That's the name of the game, flexibility. So back to Robert Woods. A lot of fans are brushing this move off. He's washed, they say. He's a depth guy, others argue. But let me ask you something. What did this team lack down the stretch in 2024? Veteran presence, reliable hands on third down, poise under pressure. The Steelers lost their final 5 games of the season, including a brutal wild card exit to the Ravens, 28-14. The defense held strong, 8th in the league in points allowed, but the offense completely collapsed. Woods isn't going to put up 200 yards, but he might be the guy who converts 3rd and 6 late in a must-win game. He might be the guy who keeps a rookie QB or a struggling vet calm in the huddle. And if George Pickens starts making headlines for the wrong reasons, you can bet Woods is the guy Tomlin points to and says, that's how a pro carries himself. So now it's your turn, Steelers fans. I've got a few questions I need you to answer in the comments. Do you think Aaron Rodgers really wants to play In Pittsburgh? Should the team keep waiting for him, or move forward with Mason Rudolph or Will Howard? And if not Rodgers, who would you want to see take over under center in 2025? Drop your take below. I'll be going through every comment and shouting out the smartest ones in the next video. And hey, if you appreciate this kind of honest, no-nonsense Steelers coverage, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you're always in the loop. We've got a wild offseason ahead. Whatever happens with Rodgers, one thing's for sure, this team isn't going to wait forever. Thanks for watching. Here we go, Steelers Nation.